Welcome everyone, this is your host Abraham L. Jaguar, a professional game master. First of all, this channel is proudly sponsored by Dead Tree Studios, the publishers and developers of Dames of Asstoria, a tabletop role-playing game where you play as monster girls experiencing high adventure in a world that doesn't fully accept them. They have recently released Daughters of Lamb. This is a pay-what-you-want tabletop RPG where you get to play as cybernetic nuns with guns, looking for the missing pieces of their AI god. You will find it in their website, the link will be in the description and in the pinned comment. This channel is also proudly sponsored by the Red Room Publishing. Please check out their store for exclusive tabletop RPG products, and check out their free tabletop RPG, the Red Roleplaying Game, a generic system able to handle any sort of theme, genre, flavor, setting that you can imagine. Definitely check it out, you will find it in their website among many other things. The link will be in the description and in the pinned comment as well. Today I continue my review series featuring Medjay. If you haven't seen the other parts of my review series featuring this larger than life monster hunter tabletop RPG where you unravel the mysteries of Egypt, please check out the playlist in the description below. This time we are going to talk about the conflict clocks. You have seen conflict clocks perhaps in other tabletop RPGs, but here in Medjay you have the conflict and tension clocks, which add some twists, some nuances to the core system. Conflict is any scene where the stakes matter, whether that's a duel on the palace steps, a war of words in the pharaoh's court, or a desperate race to seal a collapsing boat. A tension clock is a visible countdown to a dramatic moment within these situations. You could say that this system is oftentimes employed when no monsters are involved. It can measure progress towards victory, danger mounting towards disaster, or both at once. You draw a clock, a circle split into 4, 6, 8 or 12 segments, depending on the difficulty and scale. It could be the storm approaches or win the court's favor. You set the stakes, you inform what occurs when the clock fills. I'm not so sure about this. It's so immersion breaking, like, hey, like, almost like a video game. This is not trying to emulate a video game. This is trying to emulate like larger than life mysteries and battles in ancient Egypt. So you're going to be like, hey, if the clock fills up, then this is going to happen. Oh, like the game master and the players do not exist in the fiction. I think it is better to handle everything through roleplay. The players are going to know what is at stake because of the situation. You don't need to tell them, if it fills up, this is going to happen. It's like that terrible rule in Call of Cthulhu or Cthulhu in 7th edition of the pushing your roll, and you're like, hey, but if you fail, this is going to happen. No, terrible way. The clock mechanic is good, but not the way it is explained here. Like, it crushes the roleplay completely. So it's very simple. Like I said, the game master sets the clock, and the players take actions, and depending on their successes, this clock is going to fill up. If they fill up before a certain amount of time passes, or for example, if you fail, then the hazard clock, there could be a setback. Perhaps you actually go back into the clock rather than going forward, and you don't reach your goal, and something bad really happens because of that. There could be costs and setbacks. Maybe in the case of a physical task, you take wounds, you lose your footing. In the case of a social task, you lose credibility, you escalate tensions. In the case of an environmental hazard, maybe the hazard increases or you are forced to take a detour, etc. So the clocks are very flexible to handle any sort of scene framing, be it physical, social, or environmental. There are many creative ways in which you can employ these tools. You have seen them, like I said, in other tabletop RPGs, but when it comes to the cinematic action that Medjay is trying to represent, I think clocks are great. You set the scene. You choose the clock as a game master. Then the opening bit occurs. There is a vivid establishing shot that sets the tone and urgency. Then each round, players take action. There could be an escalation mid-scene. And there is a resolution, as well as optional extras. Maybe some other clocks appear because of actions that the player characters took. So undoubtedly a very flexible tool. Here they give you examples on how to implement them. Mechanically speaking, the examples are good, but in the case of roleplay, Game Master. Okay, what's the stake? On success, the court leans in favor of you. On failure, Menkara turns the compliment into mockery. You know, the players are no fools. The players are not stupid. They know what is at stake. You don't need to tell them that. And there is a lot of cheerleading in, like, it breaks the immersion. The game master is not there. The game master is going, excellent, well done, perfect, go. You have like this cheerleader jumping in the background. And in the case of the players, instead of taking action, Mr. Game Master, sir, I want my character to do this. I want my character to do, describe your action. I take cautious steps behind the pillar and lean myself against the wall in order to hide from the individuals nearby. No need to. Excuse me, Mr. Game Master, is this like a fucking classroom? So yeah, the examples are not good. Mechanically speaking, they explain the clocks, but the roleplay is completely destroyed in the examples. And this concludes this part of the review series. In the next part, we are going to talk about Heka, which could be considered the magic of this game, but not exactly. You shall see why. The section about clocks, the mechanics are well explained, but not the roleplay integration. There are still people that don't get it. This is playing a role. This is not a performance. This is not like acting like in theater or in movies, because in movies and theater the actors do not describe their actions, they just act. Okay, but in tabletop RPGs, because you are sitting at a table, you describe your actions in the present, in the now, in the fiction. You're not having a conversation with people that do not exist. They do not exist because everything can be handled through roleplay in fiction. Once again, thank you for watching this review. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, consider joining as a member using the Super Thanks button. Take a look at the information in the description and in the pinned comment. This has been your host, Abraham L. Jaguar, a professional game master. And remember, in tabletop RPGs, you are not telling stories about your characters. You are experiencing the game world as your characters. Right now, I am not telling you a story on how I am talking to you. I am just talking to you. I am looking at the screen. I am making gestures with my hands. Do you understand? I'm not. I want to make gestures with my hand. Once again, thank you and see you later.